As business owners, we often start our business because we are passionate about something. Whether you are passionate about massage or yoga or dance, and we start. And some of us might scrap together some numbers and go, yeah, I can do this. Then we start getting clients and we realize, oh, I want to help them. Oh, you have this problem. I can do that too. And you start creating a business that wasn't what you thought it was going to be. In fact, you don't even know how you got there. And now you're ticked off at your business and you don't love your business and you feel like your business runs you. I want to introduce you to our guest today. She has been on the podcast before, and I am so excited to bring her back because she is the person to help practitioners set up repeatable systems and processes in their businesses to serve their clients more powerfully, enroll committed long-term clients, and create a steady income and cash flow. Who's excited about that? She has been a teacher and trainer for more than 20 years, from the classroom to the gym floor, and now to wellness practices across the world. Born and raised in San Francisco Bay Area, she is the mother of two, a USA Masters National Champion in Olympic-style weightlifting, and the host of the Business Revolution for Practitioners podcast. If you are a practitioner who feels like your business is running you, who feels like they are in freelance mode all the time and not having a steady income, this podcast is for you. Are you a brick and mortar business owner that has put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating a storefront that lights you up and serves your clients really well, only to be frustrated that you're the best kept secret in town? If you're not hearing your new clients say, I found you on Google, then you are in the right place. Welcome. My name is Melissa Rose. I'm a mom, a brick and mortar business owner, and your straight shooting visibility coach. I've cracked the SEO code to becoming the top choice on Google in my industry. And now I'm sharing the secrets on this podcast. Get ready for stories, fail-proof strategies, and practical tips to elevate your brick and mortar presence to the top choice on Google. Let's get real, because we're going to make your business the only option in town. Joanna Sapir, thank you so much for being back on the Brick and Mortar Visibility Podcast. So good to see you.
You too. I'm excited to be here again.
Yes. Tell everybody where you're from this time.
I'm here in Mexico, which is where I moved just 3 months ago. I've been here for 3 months. But yes, new phase of life, turned 50, empty nester, trying new things.
Hashtag goals, everybody. Doesn't that sound lovely? Oh my gosh. Love it. So you've been on the podcast before. So if you listen and you like what you have to hear or want to know more about Joanna, we have the podcast listed below. But Joanna, what do you want people, the brick and mortar audience, to hear by the end of this podcast? What do you want them to walk away with?
I want anyone listening to walk away with the knowledge or understanding that even if you think you suck at business, you absolutely can learn. I think that so many of us, when we struggle with certain aspects of business, it can be different for different people, but we might go like, selling is so hard, or we might go financial management, money, I'm so bad with money, or numbers, or whatever it is. We all think that like other people are just naturally good at those things, and we're the ones that are just not, and that, that it's somehow like this inherent thing. And I just would want everyone to know that learning how to run a business is a skill just like anything else you learn. And you absolutely can learn, even if something doesn't come naturally to you. And in fact, you'd probably be better at it if it doesn't come naturally to you, because you got to, learn how to do it, and you can learn how to do it right so that you can have a profitable and sustainable business. And if you don't have one right now, you can by learning the skills of running your business.
Who are the people that you love to serve and help?
Yeah, so I'm a business strategist, and I work specifically with wellness practitioners, people that are offering transformation to their clients. So this can also include coaches, therapists, right? Acupuncturists, body workers of all sorts. So that's physical therapists, massage workers, massage therapists. Many people that I work with feel like they don't fit in a box. So for example, I'll get yoga teachers, you do dance, where it might be like that was what they started in, was something like yoga or dance. And then they started to learn all kinds of new modalities and new ways of working with people's bodies, and ways that were really healing, for example, is what usually happens, or they go through their own health journey. And so they're actually incorporating a lot of different modalities and don't feel like that, that name fits them anymore. They're like, I'm not just a yoga teacher, or it's really not yoga what I'm doing, but that's what people think it is. So therapy, transformation, those kind of services.
Yeah, I love that because it's so, I bet all of us can think of somebody. I have like 3 people in mind right now that I'm like, oh, okay, that would fit. That's who you would work and help with. So thank you for that. Like a lot of us, we start with passion, right? And then we start this business and it's going okay. We think it's going great. And then this isn't working. So what is your one things or couple things that you see people like struggling big time with?
With folks that I work with in health, wellness, transformation, it's like we all got into this work not because we went, I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to be a business owner and I want to manage a team or whatever it is, right? It's really like I want to bring this service and help people, experience the change they're looking for. So we start our businesses, and just like I was saying before, often don't know a lot of pieces of how to do that. It's interesting. You probably know folks like this, but I've had people come work with me who, might have previously had a corporate job in marketing. So they're like, oh, I think I know this. It's just a completely different thing to have your own business because you're not just marketing. And especially if you were in corporate marketing, it's a whole different thing. Selling trinkets, for example, selling things is different than selling services. Products is different than services. So we come into this business and it's all brand new. Because of that, I think we fall into what I see with people who have come to me. Now, people come to me, let me just say, who have been in business 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So this is even way along the line. Like people can be very established and they've fallen into what I call freelancer trap. And this is especially how we start. So this goes back to the beginning where we're like, okay, I have these services and my job is to get people to buy the services. Like my job is to get clients. We meet clients and we sort of turn ourselves into pretzels trying to just be what they want. Like we even will ask them on the phone. I mean, I teach a whole sales process, as you know, and this is one of the things that I say, don't say this to prospective clients or leads, but a really common thing is, so what are you looking for? So what services are you looking for? That is basically, oh, okay, so can I be that? You're asking to yourself, like, can I be that, right? So when they twist themselves into a pretzel to get the client, they get the client. Those people aren't a great fit, right? They're not there to, you've never established your own leadership in kind of saying like, here's what's required to get the results you want. A woman in this case was saying, so it's actually really deteriorated my confidence as a practitioner.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right? Because I have these people, I'm getting clients and they just drop off or they just like aren't doing what I'm like trying to get them to do and they're not getting results and they, disappear or cancel sessions and then I never see them again. That is so common. If you let it get to you, you think it's you. But what I say is that's actually a lack of like clarity around just what you just asked, who you serve, what problems you solve, how you price and package your services, how you sell your services, the expectations you have for your clients. It's the opposite of that. It's the opposite of leadership. So I kind of, the other end of the freelancer spectrum is freelancer versus leader, if that's a line. And as freelancers, we don't realize like you're the leader of your business. Who are the practitioner. Like you don't work for your clients, you work for your business. Your business provides this service, right? And you need to define what that is. And you need to define who it's for, what your own boundaries and systems are for the right clients to come in and get the results they want, all based on getting your result. You're getting your clients, your ideal clients, the results they're after. And so what's really going to be required of that? And so I'll just note, like when we do things like, just book a session and we'll see, and we'll start working on it. Like, is that going to get this person results? Like, no, think about like what's actually going to get them results. And I mean, one of the things I say is tell them the truth instead of telling them what you think they want to hear. Right. And so that's the freelancer side of things. So that's just a really common mistake that people make. And then 10 years down the line, again, like I'm thinking of a really dear client that I had who was 10 years into business and came, and he came to his initial, like, I offer a free consultation, and he came to this and he's like, my clients control me. My business controls me. I have no time to myself. Right. He had built this business like that, which was all about just bending over backwards for like whatever people were asking him. And this was a really, really skilled practitioner too, like super, super experienced and really in-depth work that he did. Right. But it's like, No, you're not there to give them what they want. You're there to give them what they need. And so you need to clarify that for yourself and for them. Like, what do they need?
I love the confidence thing because that's legit. You try to serve, you think you're serving, you think you're helping by giving what the client wants. Ultimately, it's not your true north. And then you end up in a financial situation, you don't have consistency, you don't have steady income, and then you're stressing. And then it's this lack mentality. And it's just this visceral cycle and into the confidence, which is a whole other level when you're not doing exactly what you're meant to do. And then everybody says, raise your prices, and you have no confidence to do that because you're like, well, I'm not getting the clients where they're at. So your gift, we talked prior, is creating programs and treatments that work for the clients. Can you talk a little bit about what that means for your people?
Yeah. So what I help practitioners do is I lead them through a process of, we do a number of things, but at the core of it is creating programs and treatment plans that are actually going to get their ideal clients the results they're after. That's never like a session. It's not even a pack of sessions. So that's a really common way that practitioners sell their services, right? You buy a session, or you might be able to buy a pack of sessions at some kind of discount or something. That's not what I'm talking about. Not even the pack of sessions. Because I just want to note, a pack of sessions is generally presented as a financial piece.
Right.
It's like financial for the business and for the client. Like the client saves money and the business gets a little cash influx. But it's arbitrary. The number of sessions is arbitrary. It's not a container, right? It's like, okay, so it's 10 sessions and they have to use it in maybe in a year or something. It still means people can come in very inconsistently. It's not actually a journey. And so what I help practitioners do is first, we of course identify, let me just back up and say one of the first things we do to get them grounded and into like who they are and what they're about and what this business is about is actually creating their company purpose and their core values. And that just sounds like one of these like dry business things. And I just want to say it's really, really life altering for people. And sometimes people tell me like, oh yeah, I was told to like come up with a mission statement or whatever, but I never realized like how powerful this can actually be. And I'll also just say like a purpose statement is different than a mission statement. A purpose statement is why you do the work that you do. It's not what you do. So a lot of times you see mission statements that are like, we provide yoga therapy to people, blah, 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 blah. But a company purpose is why. So we start with that. Then when we identify who their ideal clients are, and that's not something that we make up. The process I lead people through is really actually looking at who have their past clients been, who have been the best ones, who have been the least best ones. And we start to look for patterns. And so once they figure out who their ideal clients are, and I call them their bullseye clients, that's when we go into the program design and their framework. And so this is like really, really at the heart of what I do. And it transforms people's businesses because they design a process. So I work with such a variety of practitioners. I'm not the one who's like telling them what to include in it. I'm leading them through figuring that out themselves in terms of what their clients need. And so programs and treatment plans depends on the service, but these can look anything like the shorter end are things like 9 and 12 weeks long. I see the front end program that short with people like, for example, the body workers that I mentioned, people who are doing, or sometimes in acupuncture, people who get clients who have had like an actual injury, have some kind of acute injury or acute pain that they're dealing with. And so again, they've designed a process where they're assessing the injury, what's going on, getting to the root cause and treating that in using the modalities that they have, right? And so 9 to 12 weeks, that might be for something like that. But other people I work with, it's real like deep dive kind of lifestyle change or habit creation. There's health coaches I work with. There's an art journaling teacher I work with, for example. And those programs can be 6 months or 12 months long. Right? So they look all different ways. And so that program design changes everything. So when you were talking about like raising prices, you get to build in a raised price here because you're not charging by the session. You're charging for the whole thing. You're charging for the transformation. You're not trading your time for dollars, right? This isn't about like the number of sessions. This is about the results that the client is going to get. And so that needs a really good sales system to be able to do that. So that's why I teach a consultative sales process, which is where you actually sit down and do a consultation with a client client, or prospective client, I should say, to really make sure that this is the right fit for them, that this program is actually, they have the gaps that your program fills, that they're in your wheelhouse. You're going to be able to treat this. If they're not, you kindly refer them elsewhere, which is a great reason to have a network of folks and a network of referring partners. And when they are a good fit, it enrolls them in that whole program, not, a session.
So what are some of the pushbacks you get from your clients?
Nobody's going to work with me unless they're excited by that idea. So they're
Absolutely.
not coming in. But once we do it, it's the pricing that scares people, because if they've been selling services for $150 a session, and then now they're selling a program that's $3,000, or $5,000, that's a whole different thing, which is why we learn a whole different sales process to doing it. So that's where the gap is, because they design their program before they learn the sales process. So that's where they start to get scared, is when we price it in the program. And then we use a profitable pricing calculator. It's like really by the numbers. Like, it's not a made up thing, which a lot of people out there do teach, like charge $10,000, like just making up prices. I'll just say, I don't do that. Like, it's based on the actual business numbers. It's when they have that, but they haven't learned the sales system yet, that's where they kind of freak out. But once they learn the sales system, especially once they start doing it. So I don't know how many of your clients or how many people listening use a consultation, but this is, the way I teach it anyway, it's a really in-depth process where you are really connecting with somebody and getting to know them. And regardless of whether they enroll and become a client or not, it's still a very meaningful and valuable connection for them. And it's also a form of value, because the way I teach it, there's an assessment process involved. So you are actually like assessing what's going on with this person. And again, if your program isn't going to meet their needs, you refer them to somebody who can. You explain exactly why. So it's all very, very transparent. And so once people learn that, it's like, oh, this is actually really, really, it's fun and it's cool and it's meaningful,
Like I said before, with a consistency, you have more consistency and you're getting the right people.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So it's, yes, the consistency piece, it's like how most practitioners are existing is sort of at the beginning of the week, you're looking at how many sessions do I have booked this week, right? And it's like you have 4 sessions booked. It's like, oh, it's a slow week. And you're just hoping that next week will be better, or doing whatever you can. And it's so just a treadmill or hamster wheel, right? And it's so short-sighted. Whereas if you can imagine, if you're enrolling people in programs, so let's say you have a 3-month program, every person you enroll, that's 3 months now, the income is automatically coming in and you're booked. So you're booking out, if your program's 3 months, you're booking out 3 months at a time. And not only that, but it's the beauty and the amazingness of people who are really committed and all in. Like, you've got a program that is really getting them results. And so the opposite of what I was saying, the person who I talked to recently, who was feeling like her confidence was getting hit, right? Because her clients were just dropping off and not seeing results. This is like the opposite, where all of your clients are in it, committed, you're fully committed to them, and they're really getting those results, which is just so right?
Pricing, packaging, and sales. What I really like is that you're really helping them with the sales aspect, because a lot of us will come in and say, okay, pricing needs to be fixed, and okay, package it, blah, blah, blah. But to then go around and sell it and get the people, that's very exciting to me. So you have a program coming up in January. Can you talk about that for us, for people?
Yeah. So I do this event generally once a year, and it's called the Empowered Practitioner event. And so it's a week long, and amazingly, it's free. It's a week of trainings from me. So that include a combination of some pre-recorded stuff, live stuff. We throw bonuses in every time I do it differently. And I go over all of this that I've just talked about in actually a lot more details around pricing, packaging, sales process, really the systems and structures that your business needs to be profitable and sustainable is the big picture. Yeah, I'd love to invite anyone listening to come.
Yeah, absolutely. You also talked about streamlining your business. I just want to back up to there a little bit. Where do you see that most people struggle?
Doing everything manually and not having any clear processes for things. And that even can, I will say, some people feel like they have processes. For example, they'll say, oh, I offer a 15-minute phone consultation. I'm like, that's great. That's actually a great thing to have as part of your sales process. So tell me what that is and how does this go? they do this, or sometimes they do this, or sometimes they do this. And I say, well, what do you say? And there's actually no real process there, right? They have that, but within that, there's not anything they're doing. The systems and streamlining piece is like having really clear, repeatable processes that work, that you do every time. You're not making decisions each time. You're not winging it ever. It's like, this is how I handle this. This is how I handle this. And whatever parts of those that can be automated, you automate. Right. So a lot of what practitioners do, especially around things so simple as like scheduling, it's amazing to me. I actually got into this business because as a client, I was the client of some amazing practitioners. I owned my own wellness business at the time, but I was the client of other practitioners. I just couldn't believe how the client experience was so cheapened and wasteful. Like, it was annoying. It's amazing to be, texted like, here's all the times I have available, or them saying to me, when are you available? And I'm like, really? I mean, I'm supposed to go through my calendar and give you 5 slots. Is that what you're asking me to do? Like, make it easy for your clients. So that's just one example. And I don't mean to be ranting or venting, but that's just one example that, like, I mean, anybody can do that, is automate your scheduling and make it easy for your clients and cut out your own back and forth work time. Like anything in your business that's requiring phone tag, there's a way to fix that. Anything that's making you an email tag back and forth, there's a way to fix that. That's stuff that just frees up your time and, changes things.
Isn't it nails on a chalkboard when you're experiencing that? And I heard this line that we're not competing with the shop down the street. We're competing with Amazon, not with the products, but with the customer experience, because it is so easy to get what we need and it's consistent. And as service providers, we need to be thinking about that. The more clicks, the more steps, the more anything, we lost them. Make it so super easy and then go above and beyond in your service execution. Streamlining and organization, all that fun stuff. I love that you are helping practitioners. And so part of it is we're learning and we're kind of testing things and we're getting it. So then you all of a sudden have this range of clientele, and now you're like sugar and you're losing it. You're not quite loving it. And then you're kind of resenting your business and you're getting pissed off with it. And you're not making the money you want because of that. And it's how to redirect that. And that can be scary to be like, but I help these people over here. Like you said, it doesn't matter if a year business, 5 years in business, 10 years at 15, it happens to all of us. I'm 16 years in business, and there's classes that we offer at the studio that I'm like, I should not be offering these classes, but I have people that have been taking them for a long, long time. They've been so loyal to me, right? So, but it makes no sense. And so it's that like, we all get it. And when you have a new level, you have a new devil. Trying to always, what can we streamline? What can we bring in? What can we make better? Thank you. Thank you for what you have. Is there anything else that you would like to say to our audience today?
I mentioned the Empowered Practitioner event, so I invite everybody to that. And, for full transparency, at the end of that, I invite folks into, my main program, which is called the Profitable Practitioner Academy. But that week is just such a lot of people, just get huge mindset shifts and new understandings of their business in that week of training. Yeah.
We all start our business with passion, and sometimes we don't realize what we don't know until a few years in, and then you're like, oh, I need help. And it's okay to get help, people. It's okay.
It is. I mean, that is so, so key. I don't think that I had an initial business that I didn't know what I was doing. I got help. I built that thing to just be like so amazing, and I sold it. And it's like, I didn't have any of those skills to begin with. That all came from mentorship and knowing like, oh, I can learn this and I'm going to learn this. So I really think anybody can.
If you want to, you can. Thank you so much, Joanna, for being here on the Brick and Mortar Visibility Podcast. We will have everything linked below. I hope you'll join me in that workshop that she's offering in January. That will be lovely. So thank you so much, Joanna, and everybody else. We will see you here same time, same place next week. Peace. Bye-bye. Did you know the work you do today will shape your business 60 to 90 days from now? That momentum doesn't stop there. It ripples right into your personal life. So let me ask you, based on what you're doing right now, where are you headed? Will it be the same old thing, different day? Or are you really ready to level up? If you're shouting level up, let's make sure it actually happens. Join me and a crew of powerhouse business owners in my mastermind called Level Up, Your Business, Your Life. This isn't just another meeting. It's your secret weapon to accountability, strategic thinking, and inspiration. We meet monthly to empower each other, take bold action, and crush the goals that really matter. Want to know more? Head to the link in my bio or visit msmelissarose.com/mastermind. It would be my absolute privilege to be part of your journey to the next level. Let's make it happen together. I hope I get to see you in our next cohort of Level Up Your Business, Your Life.